Live stream. I've got some breaking news for you coming out of Asia, guys. We've got a pretty serious situation developing, which is a new 6.4 earthquake striking at the border of China and Russia in northwest China. Now, this 6.4 earthquake just struck, and it struck again after we saw a 6.5 earthquake strike over here in central China. Now, the location of both of these earthquakes falls upon the edge of the Asian craton, which actually makes up the Himalayan range. You can see the shape of it marked between brown and yellow here, brown being a higher elevation, yellow being a lower elevation, green being even lower than that. And so you can see clearly it's on the exterior edges of the plate within 0.1 magnitude of one another. So a 6.5 followed by a 6.4. The time of the 6.5 was 13:19 UTC. The 6.4 struck at 23:27 UTC. So basically 10 hours later. First the 6.5, then the 6.4. This proves my case 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt about pressure transferring across vast distances in a day to a few days' time. One earthquake leading to another earthquake downstream by, again, several hundred, if not a few thousand miles. We should probably measure that. I'll do that tonight at 10 p.m. Just gonna have to tell you guys, this is significant. So, again, take a look at the screen. 6.4 just struck up here in northwest China at the Russia border, followed again by, there was a series of other earthquakes that were followed by, so we have to go back several days. And we'll do that tonight at 10 p.m. We'll go back and look at the other earthquakes that led into this. But again, let me drive home the point. The 6.5 struck 10 hours prior to the 6.4. And now there's going to be activity that strikes downstream from here in the next few days. So if you see a 6.5 lead to a 6.4 across this distance, it stands to reason that we should see additional activity strike downstream of significant size. Also, in the same time that that's all going on, a new deep earthquake has struck right in the middle of our area at Papua New Guinea. There's no letter D here, guys. Getting a deep earthquake here is actually somewhat rare. We don't see it happen that often here. We don't have a letter D here because it does not happen that often. But there is something going on here. Manam volcano, Langila, Bagana, Ulawan, all four erupting right through here, right around here. And the depth of this is down below the magma chambers. So we're talking about something going on far down below the volcanoes that's pushing up on the volcanoes. And I think we now have a deep earthquake reported, which means that the reports that I got either were not correct or that they got wind that I got the reports and now they have to start reporting the deep earthquakes. Well, regardless of that, there it is, deep 4.4. That means a shallow 5.4 to 6.4 is likely in both sides of this area to the east and west within the next 72 to 96 hours. So 5.4 to 6.4, both sides. Now, when I say both sides, we really have to look at the shell of pressure that's coming up from down below. I want you to imagine this as a ring of pressure coming up from down below the plate. And as the pressure comes up, it spreads upwards and outwards and grows in intensity. So take a look at it this way. See this three-dimensional sphere down below the earthquake? That's probably a better way to look at it here. So imagine this sphere coming up from down below, pushing up above. As it pushes up above, it creates a shallower, larger earthquake. So I think that's pretty significant that there's a new deep earthquake, because we were wondering whether or not there was going to be. So there you go. New deep earthquake, new shallow, large earthquake, and of course, progression of pressure across an entire region. The professionals said this was impossible. They said it's impossible for a 6.0 to cause another 6.0 1,000 miles away. That's it. I've got to measure it. I've got to know how far it is, just for argument's sake, because again, professionals have said pressure doesn't transfer and that it loses 1,000,000 times of power over the course of 1,000 miles. That's according to Professor John Badali, the geophysics medal winner, and one of my biggest critics, who says that earthquakes can't be forecast. Well, let's just go get our coordinates on this. They just downgraded the earthquake to 6.3. That's fine. They could even take it down to a 6. They could take it down to a 5. It would still be caused by the 6.5 earlier today. So let's get our coordinates. And, okay, they got it back up to 6.4 already. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go check the station locations on this in a second. But I'm just going to measure from one point to the other. This shouldn't take but a minute to do. Let me get my display capture turned on here. Okay, here's our location of the newest 6.4. Well, look where that is. Well, well, well. Newest 6.4 at a coal mine. At a coal mine. Ah, well, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just absolutely fabulous? What's the depth on this? 15 kilometers deep. Well, that's way deeper than any mine. Way deeper than any mine. All right. Well, we're going to get a line measurement tool from here. Okay, let's do that. We're going to do it in miles, and then we're going to measure all the way over. Actually, hold on. Let's put a place mark on here. Okay, now we're going to measure all the way over to the 6.5. And this should be, I'm guessing, 1,000 miles. I am guessing. It could be more, it could be less. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, here's the other location. Now we get our measurement tool. We'll measure it in miles first, and then we'll measure it in kilometers. Again, keep in mind, professional said, 1,000,000 times loss in power over the course of 1,000 miles. Okay, 650 miles. 650. 650. Okay, so we're right at a halfway point, all right? So, okay, 650. Well, it should have lost, what? If it lost 1,000,000 times power over 1,000 miles, then it stands to reason that it would lose a 500,000 times worth of power across half that distance, right? Something like that. So, I mean, a 6 would cause a 2 all that way. Right? No. A 6 would cause a 1.0 that far away. Well, we know that's not the case. A 6.5 causes 6.4, or a 6.4 causes a 6.3. Anything else going on? Looks like Central Italy has been hit. Central Italy hit by mid-range 3 right at Norcia, following the 3.7 and 3.9 up in Croatia. Colombia was hit as expected, and then, of course, we get back over here to the West Pacific. Anything else I forget to mention? Oh yeah, the 5.0 activity up in the Aleutian Island chain, coming in between Kamchatka and Bogoslav. All right, word up, much love. I'm going to save this as a video on my channel. Please have a plan and be prepared. These size earthquakes can cause damage. This is not a man-made event. It's 15 kilometers down below a coal mine, which means the coal is a byproduct, most likely, of ancient volcanism. And we could go into coal and what it really is, and let's just say it's not dinosaurs and plant material, guys. Let's just put it that way. If you believe that, I got a bridge for sale up in Brooklyn. Yeah. So yeah, dinosaurs didn't make oil. That's another debunkable, well, little piece of, I don't know what to call that. I guess it's a turd of